Have you ever woken up at 2 a.m. with a burning sensation rising from your chest into your throat? Or fallen asleep, only to be pulled awake by a bitter, acidic taste and a cough that just will not stop? If you have been diagnosed with acid reflux or GERD, you have probably been prescribed acid-suppressing medication, felt better for a while, stopped taking it, and watched the symptoms return. Today we are going to break that cycle. Because the real reason your stomach and esophagus keep failing to heal has nothing to do with not having the right drug. It has everything to do with what you are doing to your digestive system every single night. Here is what most people with acid reflux never get told. Your stomach has a biological clock, and it runs a very specific repair cycle during the night. Gastric acid secretion peaks during the late evening and early night hours. The body's natural mechanism for processing remaining stomach contents and initiating mucosal regeneration while you sleep. Here is why that matters so much. The stomach lining replaces itself every 2 to 4 days. Specialized stem cells continuously generate fresh epithelial cells to replace those damaged by acid when adequate fasting time is given. This renewal cycle runs efficiently and keeps the stomach wall intact. But when food arrives during that repair window, especially late-night food, the stomach is forced to pivot from repair mode to digestion mode. Healing stops. Acid output rises. Pressure inside the stomach increases. And that pressure forces the lower esophageal sphincter, the valve between your stomach and esophagus, to open at exactly the wrong moment. The numbers on this are startling. Research shows that eating within 3 hours of bedtime increases nocturnal reflux episodes by 67%, compared to allowing 4 or more hours between the last meal and sleep. A matched case control study confirmed that shorter dinner to bed time is statistically and significantly associated with increased risk of GERD diagnosis. In a study of children with acid reflux, 55.3% of patients had a regular habit of eating within 3 hours of sleep. The pattern is the same regardless of age. Late eating in horizontal position combined to create the perfect storm for acid to travel upward through a valve that was never designed to hold pressure from both food, weight, and compromised muscle tone. The esophagus makes this even more consequential. Unlike the stomach, the esophageal lining has no protective mucus barrier against acid. Every time stomach acid contacts the esophageal wall, it causes a chemical burn. The esophagus can partially recover if acid exposure is infrequent and brief. But nightly acid contact from habitual late eating eventually overwhelms the repair capacity. The result is chronic inflammation, progressive tissue damage, and in some cases, a precancerous transformation of the esophageal lining, called Barrett's esophagus. This is the biological progression that makes GERD far more serious than most people realize. The clinical evidence for fasting as a solution is specific and compelling. A 96-hour pH monitoring study found that intermittent fasting reduced heartburn symptom scores from 14.3 to 9.9 in GERD patients, a measurable, objective improvement within days. A separate study documented reduced acid exposure time in the esophagus following a fasting protocol. A 2023 clinical trial found that implementing a 168-time restricted eating schedule improved reflux symptoms within just 2 days of beginning the intervention. 2 days. This speed of response confirms that giving the stomach and esophagus uninterrupted repair time produces immediate relief, not because acid is being chemically suppressed, but because the tissue is actually beginning to heal. Stopping late-night eating is the foundation, but there are specific foods and drinks that actively accelerate the healing process. During your fasting window, start with ginger tea in the evening. Ginger's gingerol and shogal compounds accelerate gastric emptying, meaning food moves out of the stomach faster, reducing the pressure that causes reflux. Ginger also directly reduces inflammation in the esophageal and gastric lining without stimulating acid secretion. Steep 1 thin slice of fresh ginger in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes and drink it 2 hours before bed. This is one of the most consistently recommended natural interventions. In digestive health research, chamomile tea is equally valuable. Its apigenin and alpha-bisabolol compounds calm the smooth muscle of the gastrointestinal tract, reduce mucosal inflammation, and promote the kind of relaxed, sleep-time digestion that allows healing to proceed undisturbed. Avoid peppermint tea entirely at night. It relaxes the lower esophageal sphincter and makes reflux significantly worse. Aloe vera juice is a third powerful option. Its mucopolysaccharide compounds form a natural, protective film over the esophageal and gastric mucosa, directly shielding damaged tissue from acid exposure. A clinical trial comparing aloe vera syrup to standard GERD medication found that aloe vera produced comparable reductions in heartburn, regurgitation, and swallowing pain scores over a 4-week period. 15 to 20 milliliters of pure, unflavored, sugar-free aloe vera juice before meals can meaningfully reduce daily reflux burden. When you break your fast in the morning, the composition of your first meal matters enormously. Oatmeal is the single best first food for acid reflux patients. Its beta-glucan fiber forms a gel layer on the stomach lining that absorbs acid and buffers against reflux. Fiber content normalizes gastric emptying speed and prevents the constipation-related abdominal pressure that worsens reflux. Add half a banana to your oatmeal. Bananas are alkaline, contain pectin that coats the stomach lining, and are among the most frequently recommended foods in reflux dietary management. Cabbage deserves special attention. It contains a compound called S-methylmethionine, historically called vitamin U, which directly supports the repair of damaged mucosal cells and stimulates new epithelial cell growth. Research on fresh cabbage juice as a treatment for gastric ulcers dates to the early 1950s and has been continuously confirmed. Lightly steamed cabbage or a small glass of fresh cabbage juice in the morning actively rebuilds the stomach wall while the fasting-initiated repair cycle is still running. Soft tofu provides low-fat protein that supplies the amino acids needed for cell regeneration without slowing gastric emptying or relaxing the lower esophageal sphincter, making it ideal for the first meal. A simple morning recipe: bring 2 cups of light kombu broth to a gentle simmer. Lower the heat and dissolve 1 tablespoon of miso paste. Add 1 cup of lightly steamed cabbage and 100 grams of cubed silken tofu. Finish with 2 slices of fresh ginger and a small sprinkle of green onion. No spice, no chili, no acidic ingredients. This bowl delivers S-methylmethionine from the cabbage, gut microbiome supporting fermented compounds from the miso, tissue repair protein from the tofu, and gastric motility support from the ginger. Everything an inflamed esophagus and stomach wall needs in the morning to continue the repair work that fasting began overnight. Before you proceed, take these warnings seriously. If your reflux is accompanied by difficulty swallowing, unexplained weight loss, or dark stools, seek medical evaluation immediately. These may indicate a more serious condition. If you have been diagnosed with Barrett's esophagus, regular endoscopic surveillance is non-negotiable. Alongside any lifestyle changes, do not stop acid-suppressing medication abruptly without medical guidance. Rebound. Hyperacidity can temporarily worsen symptoms significantly. Work with your doctor to taper medication gradually as lifestyle improvements reduce your symptom burden. Diabetics managing blood sugar with medication should discuss any fasting window extension with their physician first. Acid reflux medication quiets your symptoms by suppressing acid. But acid is not your enemy. Unprotected, constantly irritated tissue is. Your stomach wall replaces itself every 2 to 4 days. Your esophagus is already trying to heal. The only thing standing between your digestive system and genuine recovery may be the food arriving after dark that keeps pulling it back into emergency response mode. Stop eating at night. Give your stomach the silence it needs. Feed it gently in the morning. The repair is already in progress, you just need to stop interrupting it. If this video helped you understand what is really happening inside your digestive system, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who needs this information. Your next quiet, comfortable night of sleep may be closer than you think.